It all started innocently enough, as most things do. Picture this: a warm summer evening, a candlelit dinner, and me, in all my infinite wisdom, asking the dreaded question, "Honey, if I were a food, what food would I be?"
Well, that depends, doesn't it? What kind of food are we talking here? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
I should have known better than to ask for specifics. Leave it to my husband, the king of playful teasing, to turn a simple question into a full-blown culinary interrogation, but I was determined to get an answer. "Let's start with breakfast," I said, my curiosity piqued.
A blueberry muffin.
"A blueberry muffin?" I couldn't help but laugh. It was the most unexpected, yet oddly fitting, comparison. "And why a blueberry muffin?" I asked.
Because you're sweet, you're full of surprises, and you make my mornings brighter.
Fast forward a few years, and our lives had changed dramatically. The once quiet and orderly home we knew had transformed into a whirlwind of activity and noise. We were no longer just husband and wife, we were parents. Sleep-deprived, caffeine-fueled parents, but parents nonetheless. Our mornings started with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, our lifeline, as we navigated the early hours with bleary eyes and heavy yawns. Our days were filled with diaper changes, feedings, and the endless cycle of trying to soothe a fussy baby. Each task seemed monumental, yet we tackled them with a mix of determination and exhaustion. The constant, ear-splitting screams of a newborn became the soundtrack of our lives. It was a symphony of cries that tested our patience and resilience. It was during one of these particularly chaotic evenings, when the house was in disarray and our nerves were frayed, that I decided to resurrect the food analogy. Amidst the chaos, a moment of clarity struck me. As I was wrestling our screaming son into his pajamas, I casually asked Mark, trying to lighten the mood, "So, remember that time I asked you what food I'd be?" It was a question that had once brought us laughter and a sense of connection.
How could I forget?
His eyes twinkled with the memory, a rare moment of calm in our otherwise hectic lives.
You were a blueberry muffin.
The words brought a smile to my face, a reminder of simpler times. Right, but if you had to choose now, 5 years and one very loud baby later, what would I be? The question hung in the air, a testament to how much we had grown and changed. Our journey through parenthood had been anything but easy, yet it had brought us closer in ways we never imagined. We had become a team, navigating the ups and downs together, finding humor and love in the midst of chaos. And as we stood there, exhausted but united, I realized that no matter what food he chose, we were in this together, forever. He paused, surveying the scene before him. Me, hair a mess, covered in baby vomit, and our son, who had somehow managed to remove his diaper and was now using it as a hat.
A watermelon, he finally declared.
"A watermelon? Seriously?" "Okay," I said, trying to hide my amusement. "And why a watermelon?"
Because, he explained, you're big, you're juicy, and occasionally you make a big mess.
I was 9 months pregnant at that point. He had a point. There had been that one incident with the exploding watermelon at our family picnic. But that's a story for another time. The years flew by in a blur of school plays, soccer games, and family vacations. Each event was a milestone, a marker of time passing, and a testament to the life we were building together. From the first steps of our children to their first words, every moment was a cherished memory. We celebrated anniversaries, navigated the choppy waters of parenthood, and somehow, through it all, managed to keep our sense of humor intact. Our home was filled with laughter, even during the most challenging times. We found joy in the little things, like impromptu dance parties in the living room and bedtime stories that turned into epic adventures. And yes, the food comparisons continued. They became a running joke, a playful way to express our feelings and experiences. Each meal we shared was an opportunity for a new analogy, a new way to see each other through the lens of our favorite dishes. Over the years, I had been everything from a spicy bowl of chili, apparently I can be a bit fiery at times, to a comforting plate of spaghetti and meatballs, his go-to comfort food. These comparisons were more than just jokes. They were a way for us to communicate our emotions and understand each other better. Each analogy, no matter how ridiculous, offered a glimpse into how Mark saw me at that particular moment in time. It was a unique language we developed, one that spoke volumes about our relationship. Looking back, these moments of humor and connection were the glue that held us together, reminding us of the love and respect we had for each other. As we laughed and reminisced, we realized that our pantry of comparisons was a testament to a decade of love, growth, and shared experiences. One evening, as we were celebrating our 10th anniversary, I decided to ask again. "Okay, hit me with it," I said, a mischievous glint in my eye. "If I were a food, what food would I be?"
He chuckled. That's easy. You'd be a curry.
"Curry?" I raised an eyebrow, intrigued.
Yes, a curry, he confirmed. Complex, full of flavor, and a little bit unpredictable. You always keep me guessing.
He knew me too well. Which brings us to today, our 30th anniversary. 30 years of marriage, 2 kids, a mortgage, and countless shared meals. We're older, a little bit wiser, maybe, and our metabolisms have definitely slowed down. But one thing remains the same: our ability to find humor in the everyday. As we sat down to dinner, surrounded by our now teenage children, I couldn't resist asking the question one last time. "So, honey, after all these years, if I were a food, what food would I be?" He smiled that familiar smile, the one that still made my heart flutter.
You, my dear, he said, his eyes twinkling, are a perfectly aged cheesecake.
"A cheesecake?"
Yes, he continued, rich, decadent, and utterly irresistible. You just get better with time.
He leaned in and kissed me, a slow, lingering kiss that spoke volumes about the love and laughter we had shared over the years. And that, my friends, is the story of our marriage, told through the lens of food. It's a story of love, laughter, and the enduring power of a good analogy. So, the next time you're looking for a way to spice up your relationship, I encourage you to try the food comparison game. You never know what hilarious and heartwarming insights you might discover about your partner. Just be prepared for some unexpected answers. After all, love, like a good meal, is best enjoyed with a side of humor.